from all over the world. Local consumer prices continue to hover at the 2% since rate in April.
Turning to robots to allow the visually impaired the chance to better indulge in cultural experiences. Like the number of hybrid cars registered in South Korea has surpassed 2 million using this locally developed Yuri rocket.
Arirang.
환영합니다. Welcome to K-Culture Dive, where we dive deeper into the heart of Korean culture with K-entertainment issues, AI culture news, and today our weekly K-sports segment. And I'm your host, Kwon So-hwa. Let's dive in. And joining us this Tuesday is my co-host Bella Kim. Hello, Bella.
Hi, Soa, and hello to everyone joining us today on K-Culture Dive. I'm Bella, back again to co-host and fill you guys in with some exciting K-entertainment news, especially focused on K-pop today.
So, Bella, what's our first story of the day?
Well, we're gonna begin with the first story, but before that, can you guess which K-pop artist was most streamed in the U.S. last year, Soa?
In the U.S., I mean, big names pop up in my head like Blackpink, BTS,
Right.
and Stray Kids is also big in the U.S. But I think last year we did talk a lot about the songs of K-pop Demon Hunters.
You're definitely on the right track, Soa. Well, first, singer and songwriter EJAE has been named the most streamed K-pop artist in the U.S. last year. According to the music and entertainment data track Luminate, EJAE recorded 2.1 billion on-demand streams across audio and video platforms in the U.S., ranking first among K-pop artists. On-demand streaming we're talking about here is a measurement of how many times users directly select and play a specific song or a video. A virtual girl group from the film Huntrix ranked second with 1.8 billion streams, followed by Stray Kids, as you mentioned, Soa, placing third with about 1.2 billion streams, the highest among active idol groups. And what's notable in this ranking is that BTS ranked 10th with 890 million streams despite a hiatus in group activities due to the members' military services.
That is impressive and definitely well-deserved, EJ. Now, Bella, the weather is warming up slightly. We're expecting slightly higher temperatures later this week. And with that, spring is coming. And with that, a number of girl groups are forecast this spring season, I heard.
Definitely. So we're going to be now talking about girl groups. Girl groups are set to dominate the K-pop scene this spring. First, let's talk about Blackpink. The group's third mini album, Deadline, sold over 1.7 million copies in its first week, setting a new record for a K-pop girl group. Its title track, Go, features powerful synthesizing sounds and an unconventional structure, showing a different music style from the group's previous hits like Do 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 Do, Pink Venom, and Shutdown. Another group doing great with their latest comeback is IVE. They successfully transformed their image with their second full-length album, Revive Plus. The album's double-titled tracks, Bang Bang and Black Hole, introduced a new concept for the group. Bang Bang is topping major Korean music charts and won 7 music show trophies, and Black Hole is also doing great on music charts and won its first trophy recently at Show Champion.
And you're also going to mention some of the relatively new girl groups as well as some long-awaited comebacks.
That's right. So let's first talk about rising girl groups, Kiki and Hearts to Hearts. These two groups are gaining tremendous attention as they both won 2025 Rookie Group of the Year. And their songs 404, New Era, and Rude have climbed to the top of domestic streaming charts. charts. Both tracks are based on house music, a style that was popular back in 2010 but is coming back in trend lately. Music critic Jung Min-jae commented that house music is highly accessible and also flexible and helps artists reach beyond their fans even to the general public. And we're able to witness this girl power last Sunday as IVE's Bang Bang, Kiki's 404, and Hearts to Hearts Rude ranked first through third on Melon Daily chart, respectively. And in coming months, we have more girl group comebacks planned, including Mamamoo for their 12th anniversary and also IOI for their 10th anniversary.
So excited to see these two groups come back as a whole.
Right.
And Bella, you earlier mentioned that today's K-Enter News is going to be filled with K-pop news.
Right.
So I assume that the last story is also about K-pop, and the keyword is Arirang.
Yes, that is correct. And now we're not talking about our Arirang TV, but BTS's Arirang. The group will open a special pop-up store celebrating the release of their new album, Arirang. According to their agency HYBE, BTS's pop-up Arirang will run from March 20th to April 12th at the Heritage in Shinsegae department store main branch and also at the HYBE's headquarters as well. The pop-up store was created in collaboration with the National Museum Foundation of Korea, where it will present official merchandise that reinterprets traditional Korean aesthetics in a modern way, like the theme of the new album Arirang. In order to reduce crowding, fans who wish to visit must make reservations through Weverse using the advanced booking service Weverse Spot. Meanwhile, anticipation for BTS's new album continues to grow worldwide. On Spotify, the album has topped the countdown charts global for 7 consecutive weeks, while pre-save surpassed 4 million. And the countdown begins. There's now only 10 days left until BTS's new album, Arirang, is released globally.
Now, the moment you said pop-up store, I was imagining lines and lines, but I guess you have to make a reservation.
Yes, definitely.
It's going to be just as maybe difficult as the ticketing for the concert.
For sure.
But thank you very much, Bella, for those updates.
Yes, I'll stick around.
And now let's turn to our AI anchor, Arirang, for more on the culture front. Arirang.
Thanks, Sua. Here's your AI guide to the latest cultural headlines from Korea. Let's begin with our top story. The New York Times has included Korean independence activist Yoo Kwan-sun and victim of Japanese military sexual slavery Kim Won-ok among some 100 historical female figures. The newspaper revisited the lives and deaths of women it has documented across generations in observance of Women's History Month in March. It introduced Yoo as an independence activist who defied Japanese rule and described Gil as a crusading survivor of sexual slavery. The New York Times said that the project was intended not to rank them or portray them as one-dimensional heroes, but to re-examine their lives from a greater historical distance. The Information Center for the Baegak section of Hanyang-dosong, or Seoul City Wall, in Jongno-gu District, has reopened after 2 years. Located along hiking trails around Mount Baegak, the center patrols and manages sections including Chang-eun Gate, Cheongundae, and Malbawi, while providing guidance to visitors. At the reopening ceremony, Korea Heritage Service Administrator Ha-min called the city wall a valuable heritage site that reflects over 6 centuries of Joseon-era history, saying that the government plans to pursue its UNESCO World Heritage inscription next year. Globally acclaimed pianist Jo Sung-jin will meet with young students in Dongyang, Gyeongsang-namdo Province, marking the Dongyang International Music Festival set to open later this month. On the morning of March 27th, the opening day of the festival, Jo will hold a special school concert for local middle and high school students, performing Chopin's Piano Concerto No. 2 with the Dongyang Festival Orchestra. Launched in 2014, the school concert is the Festival Foundation's flagship education program, with renowned musicians previously taking part. This year's Dongyang International Music Festival will run from March 27 to April 5th. That's all from me. Turning now to a quick look at more K-culture stories making headlines today.
A new movement in Seoul, a city famous for its fancy nightlife, is reclaiming the weekend one sunrise at a time, trading neon lights for morning mist and coffee instead of soju. Young Koreans are finding a new way to connect through morning raves. Our Jung Hye-rim takes us there.
It's 9 a.m. on a Saturday. While the rest of the city is just waking up, this space is already filled with contagious energy. Let's take a look here at a morning rave in Seoul.
This is the Seoul Morning Coffee Club, a community built around Seoul's growing morning culture, hosting group runs and coffee chats. At a rave SMCC hosted from 7 to 10 a.m. at a hotel rooftop bar in central Seoul, participants dance, chat, and some just vibe with the music. Instead of cocktails or soju, the bar serves fresh juice, coffee, and non-caffeinated drinks, offering a space to connect without the influence of alcohol. The concept mirrors a growing global trend, with similar morning dance events popping up in cities like London and Amsterdam.
Since there are so many people I don't know, I wondered if I could really enjoy myself without drinking. But now that I'm here, the atmosphere is great. Dancing and meeting people give me a lot of positive energy.
Yeah, I mean, I went both in the nightlife and in the morning life, so it's really different, but at the same time it's also nice to wake up early and make friends in a different environment, so I like it.
The atmosphere is relaxed and respectful, without the usual chaos of a night out, just people enjoying the music and each other's company. Club founder Park Jae-hyun says in what many describe as a hyper-individualized society, this community provides a remedy for isolation, allowing people to form healthy bonds through shared activity rather than late-night drinking.
I'm a morning person, and because of that, I realized Korea doesn't have a lot of morning activities. I started by searching for cafes that open early and meeting people there. It turned into this huge community, and people seem to find comfort and feel less lonely through these morning interactions.
People always say they wish weekends were longer. If you choose to go out in the morning, it'll only be 10 a.m. when you get back home.
Korea was once dubbed as the land of the morning calm, but it's a different story for youngsters. For a growing number of young people, mornings are anything but calm. Jung Hye-rim, Arirang News.
Time now to dive into the world of K-sports with our sportscaster Jason Lee joining us in the studio. Welcome back, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Good afternoon.
So today's top sports headline is obviously that Korea made it to the quarterfinals of the World Baseball
That's
Classic.
right. Yeah, they're going to Miami.
Yes, they are. But we've also got many other stories to talk about, so give us a hint.
We absolutely do. And yes, I will be talking a lot about Korea at the World Baseball Classic. I can tell you that it wasn't easy at all, but indeed they are going to the quarterfinals. I'll have more details on that, of course. Also, Song Sung-moon re-injured his oblique muscle and has been sitting out of Padre games recently. We also finally have a Korean winner on the LPGA Tour. I'll let you know who that is. And Hwang Hee-chun is back after missing a month, and he scored a goal in his first game back.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
But let's start with baseball. So for the first time in 17 years, Team Korea made it to the quarterfinals of the WBC. So tell us about it. It wasn't easy.
No, it was not easy at all, although if it was too easy, it wouldn't have been as fun as it was. I'll tell you, it was a very, very stressful game last night as I was watching at home. But let me explain just how tight everything was in case you are not sure. Korea won their first game 11-4 over the Czech Republic, right? No problems there. Then they lost to Japan 8-6 in a back-and-forth game, which Korea actually led 3-0 at one point. They were also tied 5-5 in the 7th, so this was a very close game. The problem came in their third game when they lost 5-4 in extra innings to Chinese Taipei. Now, had Korea just won that game, they would have just needed a win against Australia to advance to the next round. But because Korea lost that game, it meant that Korea needed to beat Australia by 5 runs, and while also giving up fewer than 3 runs in that game. And wouldn't you know it, Korea would jump out to a 5-0 lead early on, just what they needed to do. But then, they bounced around a bit. The score was 5-1, and then 6-1, 6-2, and then 7-2, which is how it would eventually end. Certainly, this was a back-and-forth game. I mean, 7-2, it seems like an easy win, right? But they actually had to win by 5, and they couldn't give up that third run, which they were able to accomplish. So very stressful to watch.
Stressful indeed. And I could actually feel that when I was watching the game. The commentator was Oh Seung-hwan, the recently retired player. You could really feel that tension. And I have to say, this was almost like a scripted game, like a K-drama script.
Yes.
Definitely a very exciting game.
Yes, very stressful, but in the end, a very fun and exciting and happy result for Korea. So out of those 4 games so far that Team Korea had played, who kind of impressed you the most during the games?
I think without a doubt, Moon Bo-kyung, of LG, he has clearly been leading the way. He's actually leading all players in the WBC with 11 RBI, which is 4 more than anyone else in the tournament so far. He also has 2 home runs and a .538 batting average, so he has been an absolute beast, just a total monster so far in the tournament. On the pitching side, hey, give Jo Byung-hyun a lot of credit. You know, pitching, it's all about preventing runs at the key moments. And nothing bigger than last night against Australia. Korea was leading 6-2 when he entered the game in the 8th inning. So he needed to get 5 outs without giving up a single run. If he does give up just 1 run, Korea doesn't advance to the next round, and he was able to pull it off. So very, very tense moment once again, but give a lot of credit to Jo Byung-hyun as he was equal to the task.
Definitely looking forward to those names in future games as well. And now you did mention earlier about Team Korea that Korea's pitching and bullpen would have to be tested because they lost some players to injuries. So would you say they're settled for now, or do they need some more work to be done?
You know, that's a very good point. And certainly, you know, I wish I could say that they are settled now, but they were able to hang on to their win or go home game against Australia. So, you know, as mentioned, Jo Byung-hyun coming through in that game. But the bullpen twice allowed runs once they got the lead that they needed. And Korea's bullpen was clearly exposed against both Japan as well as in the extra inning loss to Chinese Taipei. So they clearly could have used guys like Won Tae-in and Riley O'Brien in those close games. How will they do in the next round? I mean, the bullpen is clearly the team's weakness right now. Defensively, hey, they've been solid. No errors in 4 games. Some really nice plays defensively. Their hitting has been great as expected. And of course, great to see Moon Bo-kyung breaking out. But in the end, Korea is going to go as far as their pitching takes them. So some of their young arms in particular are going to have to be extra sharp in the next round. One of the guys that has been really calming to watch, actually, has been their oldest pitcher, No Kyung-eun. He's 41 years of age, and I'll tell you, when I watch him play, he's just so calm out there. He's confident. It almost looks like he doesn't care. He's pitched 3 1/3 innings, has not given up a run at all. But I think his veteran presence is really coming through for Korea. Hopefully that'll rub off on the younger guys as well.
Hopefully, and hopefully that's going to happen in the next game too. So tell us about it. What's next for Team Korea?
That's right. So Korea's next game will be 7:30 a.m. Saturday morning Korean time. That's going to be against the winner of Group D, which should be either the Dominican Republic or Venezuela. Both are very strong teams. They both won this morning, so they're both now at 3-0, and then they face each other 9 a.m. Thursday morning Korean time. The winner of that game will be taking on Korea on Saturday morning, as mentioned. These are both two very good teams. It really doesn't matter who they face. It's going to be a tough game regardless.
I guess we're not sleeping in on Saturday then.
No, not at all.
Gives us a reason to get up early on Saturday morning. But Jason, sticking with baseball, it looks like Song Seung-moon is injured again. I think we talked about his injury just recently. So what happened?
That's right. He hurt his oblique muscle, which is kind of the side here where the lat is. And I reported that a few weeks ago. He's pulled that muscle once again. He originally hurt it while swinging the bat in the offseason, and that same issue has come up again. So he's been sitting out the last few games in spring training. Oblique injuries are really bad for hitters in particular, and now that this is the second time in the last month he's dealing with this, it could be quite problematic. The other issue, of course, is that Song Seung-moon is trying to make an impression with his new team before the season starts, but he hasn't been able to do that in good health as of yet. So hopefully he'll feel better soon. He'll feel better much sooner. And once he does, he'll be able to get on a hot streak really quick if he wants to start the Major League season on the Major League roster.
We wish he could recover fast. And now we're going to shift to golf. So you mentioned earlier that a player, Korean, won at the LPGA Tour this week. Who is it?
That's right. The name, let's see if you can even remember this name, because we haven't heard this name for quite some time. Lee Mi-young captured her 3rd LPGA title, but you know what? This is her first title since 2017, breaking a 9-streak dud. So she almost blew this as well. I mean, she entered the final round with a 3-stroke lead, but then she had 2 bogeys and 2 double bogeys on just the front 9 of her final round. She did manage to put things back together, birdieing the final hole that gave her a 1-stroke victory over the local favorite, Wei Zhang of China. So, tense moment, I'm certain, for her. She probably kind of felt it slipping away. Oh no, first time in 9 years. I might have a win. And I think she might have panicked a bit, but she got recomposed on the back 9 and managed a 1-stroke.
Yeah, congrats again to Lee Mi-young. And yeah, it's her 3rd Korea LPGA title. So yeah.
And the first for a Korean on the tour this year.
Wow.
So great to finally see
after
4
so
events.
Great to see that, definitely. And now speaking of golf, I understand that Live Golf is coming again to Korea, but this time it's not in the capital. It's somewhere near the ocean. Where is it?
Yeah, it's going to have some nice ocean views, probably a lot of wind as well. Live Golf's first tournament in Korea was last year in Incheon, but they have now reached an agreement with Asiad Country Club in Busan to bring their tour there for the next 3 years. And this year's tournament will be May 28th to the 31st, so just 2.5 months away. And we can expect to see the Korean team there once again, headlined by former tour veteran An Byung-hun. We can also expect to see Bryson DeChambeau back to defend his title from last year as well. So I'm sure we're going to have some big crowds down in Busan to check out Live Golf's return to Korea.
Right, so it's again near the water because Incheon is also near the water, in the capital region, we would say, the metropolitan region. But last but not least, let's wrap up with soccer. Jason, you mentioned that Hwang Hee-chan is back and he scored a goal.
That's right. Hwang Hee-chan and his Wolverhampton Wolves played Liverpool in the FA Cup this week. And Hwang Hee-chan entered the game in the 75th minute, and that after a 1-month absence from a calf injury. But he scored a nice goal on a breakaway in injury time. Unfortunately, that came at the end of a 3-1 loss as his team continues to struggle this year. They are out of the FA Cup. The Wolverhampton Wolves, I think they're still last in the Premier League standing, so a good chance that they get relegated by the end of the season. But we'll have to wait and see. Hwang Hee-chan, he's showing some solid results when he's healthy this year. The question will just be, you know, whether we can find maybe another team at the end of the season if his team is relegated. We'll have to see what happens with that.
So a difficult season for the team. However, for Korean fans and fans of Hwang Hee-chan, certainly good to see him back and finding the net.
Yeah, and you know, because Ho Heung-min, of course, now is in LA with the LAFC, Hwang Hee-chan is the only Korean that's now playing in the Premier League.
Right.
So if his team gets relegated, it'd be nice to see him get transferred to another Premier League team to keep him at least in England's top league. But we'll have to wait and see.
Let's see what's going to happen. And thank you very much, Jason, for all those updates. Looking forward to next week, as we're probably going to talk about the WBC results of the quarterfinals and talk about the semifinals.
Hopefully we'll be talking about Korea winning it all. We'll have to see.
All right. Thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
No problem.
And thank you, Bella. As always, we're going to have you back here later this week.
Yes, I'll see you back very soon.
And thanks for your watching and your interest in everything K-culture. Please tune in again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Korea time. Keep diving. Anchor Min Sun-hee rounds up the world's top headlines, offering a balanced coverage of major issues from Korea and abroad, along with global trends. We deliver Korean current affairs to our global viewers with depth and clarity. Stay up to date with what's happening around the world. The Daily Report. Talk Room invites global figures representing each K-content genre.